Now we are going to see the login screen. This is the login screen. Every user will be given a unique username and a password with which they can log in. So now I am logging in as the user. So this is the landing screen where we have 3 frames and a menu on the left. So on the top frame we have the company logo and the name of the person who has logged in. On the left you can see the different menus. On the middle we have the dashboard screen or the transaction screen. As you can see, the one is the dashboard screen. Here only the transactional data, the screens will be displayed. And at the bottom you can see this is a scrolling one. This is an announcement that can be scrolled and made as a scroll to make the login users to view any announcements that we need to communicate to the users. So we can use this announcement. So here we are going to see the zone master, which is for creating the zones, different zones in the organization. So we can create the different zones. We can add the zone and then display the currency and then create it. And next is the region master. So for the zone we'll be creating a different regions. So every zone has got a region. So below the region we have the branch master. So where we have for the zone, for the region, we'll have the branches. Okay. So this is about the branch master. So here we can update the contact details. If the branch has got any sub-locations, then we can add the branch and location here. And then we can have contact details of the branch. So the contact person for the branch can be added up here. This is about the region master. Then we have the master configuration, where every drop downs throughout the product can be configured. For example, the base currency. Here we saw dirhams, pound, Indian rupees, Omani riyal, all that they are configured from the master. So we can add any currency that we need to add in the drop down. So all the drop downs throughout the product can be configured using this master configuration screen. Next we are going to see the user role master, where we can create different user roles in the organization. So we can see the different roles that has been created. So the roles can be like that. Okay. So based on the roles that has been created, we can create the menu access for them. So the menus can be restricted based on the roles. So when we are selecting a role, you can see there are different roles that has been allocated here. So when all the menus will be displayed here, so we can decide to which menu we have to give access for this particular role. So if we have a full tick here, means all the menus are selected, which means they have rights for the full menu. If it is partial, means then we will know like they have only partially they have been given a menu access. So we can click which are all the screens we wanted to have access. We can just select on that screen and we can give the access. So we can save the access here. So we can give the access. So for the user roles, the menu access can be restricted. And creating and managing users. So whenever we wanted to create a new user, it can be created here. So when an employee is created, automatically a user is created for that employee in the system, as you can see it here. So if you want to reset the password of the user, if the admin has to reset the password if it is logged, so we can choose on this password locked, or you can use the reset password option. So for resetting the password. Okay. Next is the workflow. This is for configuring the users into the workflow. Okay, so I'm taking one where one request, leave request, where we are going to configure the users. So we can see an on success condition here. So every request that has been raised in the application will be appearing it here. So the workflow can be user based or the role based. When you say user based, the workflow goes to specific user when we are releasing it for the approval. When you say role based, if we say a manager, any user in the manager role can do the approval of this particular workflow. So this is user based or role based. So then the workflow can be serial or parallel. When you say serial, which means a workflow, if there are 2 users, 3 users who have been configured, so the workflow goes for the first user. Once he approves, it goes for the second user. Once he approves, it goes for the third user. So it goes in that hierarchy. When you say parallel, the workflow is displayed for all the 3 users. But here we have a specifier, you can say 2 users, which means if 2 users approve this particular request, then the request goes as an approval. Okay, so this is serial or parallel. Next is the workflow duration, within which days the workflow should be approved. So that is workflow duration. Now we are going to see who are all the users who is going to approve it. So it is a workflow approver. So it is one user who has to approve all the request, this leave request. Okay, if I have to move one more user, I can select the user here and just move on the right. So which means this user will be approving after this workflow approver. So it is like that. Okay, so we have a B here, that is for assigning user concept, where the reporting to person, we can configure the reporting to superior here. So which means when the user is raising a request, his superior, it will go to the superior. So this is moving based on the reporting to concept that is given in the system. So this is about the workflow configuration. So now we are going to close the screen. Next we have the uploads, where we have the new uploads. The employee or attendance can be uploaded with the help of an Excel sheet. So I'm taking up the employee upload, where you can have an Excel sheet, you can browse the Excel sheet and upload. So we have a standard template from where we can take up the sample template and we can fill in the values and upload them. So if you have a bulk employees that need to be added into the system, we can use the upload. So this is about the different modules in the settings. These are admin settings, which is done as a one-time configuration.